This playthrough is rated E for everyone.
Well, another year gone and another year coming. Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare here with a video about just, well, the year in general. It's New Year's Eve and about to just... Actually, I don't know what I'm going to do during New Year's Eve. Probably just play games or whatever. I recorded this a little ahead of time just to enjoy it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just watch a movie, maybe play games, maybe clean my house. I don't know. It just depends on my feeling. But anyway, this video is just going to be simple. Just going to have me maybe playing Monopoly in the background. I don't know. I remember playing this game as a kid like a long time ago, and I don't know if I liked it. It's hard to say. I played it quite a bit, but I don't know if I liked it because Monopoly is like one of those weird games where it's actually not a very good board game when you really think about it. And the funny how the history of Monopoly is, it was basically a person making a board game to show the evils of capitalism, yet it's become a product of capitalism. It's kind of weirdly ironic in a way. Yeah, this game came out like 1991. Parker Brothers. Forgot you could have like a ton of people in this game. Sure, let's do 8. Can I do 8? Yeah. Yeah, I'll be human for the first one, and then everyone else will be machines. I'll just put Vol because I can't put my. Actually, can I put my full name? Well, I'll put Valdi because I can't really do the whole thing. So, what was the one I think I always used a hat. I think that's the one I was always. Yeah, I think I was always a hat guy. And then computer. And then, yeah, in this version, you can actually choose all these fancy 1930s, I guess, like characters. Arthur, Erwin, Maud, Gertrude. Let's see. We got Carmen, Isaac, Penelope, and Ollie. I think it's the same. Okay. So, yeah, let's do Gertrude, Maud, Carmen, Penelope. Gotta go with Arthur. Gotta go with the snob Erwin. And who's the last one? Let's go with the nerd Isaac. Yeah. We'll make it a short game. Why not? So, because it'll take forever with 8 characters. Yeah, we'll just do that. All right, start game. Oh boy, they're already trading. Are they gonna trade with me or each other? Up. We'll see how that goes. Well, let's let them play it out. Let's see. Let's see. I think I began the year with Extermination. I finished that game, that Resident Evil clone. That was a fun little game. I mean, I wouldn't say it's great as Resident Evil or any action shooter, but it was a fun short game. I finished off Paladin's Quest. Finally, I need to get the sequel going. I need to do some playtesting before I get to that one. Because that one is only translated only, so I have to get to that one. I do want to record that one since I did the first game. I finished Monkey Island, or I started Monkey Island, and I finished that one. The third one, which was my favorite out of all the Monkey Island games. I don't know why, just either the animation or the humor or something about... Oh, he wants to trade with me? Oh, no, I don't. What does he want? I got Park Place? Oh, yeah, I guess for short games, no. I don't want to trade. Let's see, and then I finished Summon Night Swordcraft Story, not the second one. That one wasn't. I don't know if I liked the first one or the second one. Too bad the Summon Night games didn't really get translated until later on, and the later ones aren't that good actually. I played the PS4 version of Summon Night, and man, that game's boring, and it has really bad voice acting too. It's terrible. I should record an episode just to show you how bad the voice acting is. I thought PS4 era would be gone about the ways of the bad voice acting, but no. Let's see. I did Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. That was a good game. I think the original 3 Ratchet and Clanks are pretty good overall, but I still prefer the first one just because that was the original team. Ratchet was more more anti-hero type of situation, and a little bit more gruff. He became, after the first game, he became more like a standard Saturday morning, cartoon hero, which is just, I'm good for goodness sakes, that type of thing. So, let's see. And then, I'm just looking at it's easier just to go through my YouTube list of videos published to go over what I went through next to try and remember everything I did. Oh yeah, I did Blazing Dragons. I didn't actually grow up with that game originally. That's one of those games you find out about later on in your life, like, because... Oh, I gotta roll. Ooh, 11. What do I got? No one owns it yet, so sure. 140. Yeah, let's go and buy it. Does he want to trade me for it? Immediately, yeah. I forgot how aggressive the AI is in this game. No. At least they don't try doing it every single time. They try it once and they might try again later on when they get more property or whatever. Yeah, Blazing Dragons was an interesting game. It had it was pretty British. I like British humor, but I'll admit I didn't get. I never really found the game laugh out funny, but I enjoyed the experience of playing it because it was one of those point-and-click adventure games I didn't initially grow up with. Oh, and then I got to play Azure Dreams. That was a good one. I feel like I should have. Oh, we're at we're at bidding now, auctioning because he couldn't afford it. It's gonna be against the same two. I'm just gonna let them play it out. Yeah, I got to play. Let's see. Azure Dreams. That was a good game. I kind of wish on that one. I wish I'd maybe done the episodes a little bit differently, or oh. I sometimes would bet just to try and get them to waste their money to buy it more. Let's see if he'll. Okay, I'll stop there because I don't want him to actually stop. I don't need to actually own that property. The Azure Dreams. I wish I'd like paced the episodes out a little bit better, or maybe did more showing of the tower. I'm not sure on that one. I still like that game and I enjoyed playing it, but or maybe I should have gone and tried to get the ultimate eggs or some of the other. Oh man, we got more bidding now. Doop doop, there it goes. Now it's not even worth buying anymore. Yeah, Azure Dreams was really good. I liked playing that one. That was one of those games I grew up with. Most of the games I record are games I grew up with. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can get him to pay more for that. I'll do one more. Oh no! Oh no! My hubris! No! I didn't actually want it. Oh, I should have read the room. Oh well, it's not like I was trying to win anyway. Sold. Oh dear. Well, I bought that for no reason. If someone wants to trade me for it, I'll trade him for it. I'll let the game try that. Let's see. I did Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. That was a good game too. I enjoyed playing that one. Most of the Shantae games I like, although later on they become not as good. I think they're still good, but you can tell that they're not as good as they generally along the line. You think they get better because they no, I'm just going to jail because of everything. But yeah, Pirates' Curse is probably my favorite out of all the Shantae games. Just a good combination of just long enough story, animations are solid. Oh, my turn, right? Let's roll. Oh, I don't own that. I'm just going to buy it if someone wants to trade it for me. I'll make them give me cash for it since I don't... Wait, did they already have the property? Yeah, but... I like how they don't offer anything. They're just like, okay, what do you got? So, oh, he's already got the... Oh, that would give him a monopoly. Well, I could either ask for a bunch of cash. How much cash do they actually have? I don't actually know. Hold on. Well, actually, let's make him give me cash because I need some cash. So let's ask for 100. Well, because this is going to give him a monopoly, so I need to get something out of it. So, okay. Yeah, alright. Now he's going to, go buy houses, so we're going to get hosed. But the game will never end if we don't, like, let someone get a monopoly. You know what I mean? So... Man, all these old animations are really nostalgic for me. Yeah, look at that. Yay! I got $10. Woo! I don't even have any Monopoly, so I'm gonna be hosed. But that's fine. I wasn't playing this to win. This was just supposed to be a backdrop for my games. Let's see. I started working on Rondo's Swords. Man, that was a long recording. Just because I didn't do multiple battles in one episode. I did every single battle was an episode. So some would be like 5 minutes long, or some would be like an hour, depending on the episode. So that one was... I like that one. That one I had some issues with technically because I had to replay the game again because of a decision halfway through the game to get the alternate path, and also showing off a character that you could get because if you go on a certain path, you have to choose a specific decision to get the character unlocked if you go the cold path, the cold emperor path or whatever. So I had to actually play the game twice. Or I played the game twice, but I had to play it again more than I wanted to. So hopefully I don't hit the... No, by $18. Nowadays, I think Monopoly uses like electronic systems. So I think most... I mean, you could still buy old versions that use the paper money, but I heard there's newer versions that just use electronic calculators and stuff where you just use credit cards now. So, but anyway, see, Rondo of Swords was a good game overall. That one, actually, Rondo of Swords, I actually stopped playing halfway through when I first played the game because it was either the story wasn't interesting or I was getting bored or something like that at the time. It's one of those games I appreciate when I went back to it. It's still, overall, it's still a weak strategy game when you think about it because you can just grind for victory. And I like the idea behind the game being the whole running through enemies type of thing. And that has its own set of challenge, but I think after a certain point, the game got too easy. Okay, I'm not going to bet any money because if I do and they decide not to go, I'm going to lose all my cash. Let's see, and then we started The Adventures of Willie Beamish. That was one I owned it eventually. I didn't own it when it first came out. It was one of those games I got like a couple years after the game came out. A kid I went to school with had a Sega CD, and this was one of the games on it. Unfortunately, that whole Sega CD thing ended up being a bad situation because I didn't have the money to pay for the Sega CD at the time, but I said I was going to get the money for it by like asking my folks, and my folks didn't have money because we were living on food stamps at the time, so we didn't really have money. And so it just took me forever to get the money to get for the Sega CD, but he got so... Like, he wanted the money so badly, I guess, or something, that he basically turned around from being my friend and started harassing me in school and stuff like that. It was Eddie just basically got his minions to, like, harass me. Eventually, I ended up beating the crap out of one of them because I got so pissed off about it. But, yeah, one of the guys who kind of messed with me, I kind of reconciled with before I left high school, but, I'm in jail. No. Might as well just stay in jail. And try to hope I get double so I don't... The only bad thing is I won't get any properties, because there's like nothing available to me. I'm pretty much hosed in one of these types of games. Basically, by giving the property that one person, I think it was Mod or whatever, I basically hosed the rest of us, because she's basically got the best chance to win now. Anyway, I reconciled by the end of it, and sort of. I mean, we talked, basically, and he's like, yeah, I'm sorry that all happened. The other two never apologized or whatever that harassed me, so even though I paid him his money and everything like that, it was never like a simple mistake. And we were, I was a kid, I didn't have a ton of money, and I said I was going to pay him, and I did. But I don't know why he just got a bug up his butt about it, but it goes to show that he wasn't really a friend to begin with. That's why I keep a lot of my feelings and stuff close to the vest these days now, so I don't and I guess I technically have friends, but I never consider people close enough to be friends because of stuff like that, because in that way you won't get that situation occurring. Then we got to one of my favorite Let's Plays, Legend of Legaia. Man, I can't believe that was in March. That game was that was another game I grew up with, and initially I bought it shortly after it came out when I had some money from just saving it. It's my turn. Alright, we're just gonna see if we can roll doubles. Okay. And now I'm having so I'm stuck in jail, so luckily the only problem that means I don't get $200 for passing go, but I don't get all my I don't get wrecked by St. James Place. But yeah, Legend of Legaia was definitely one of my favorite playthroughs of this year, just because, I mean, a lot of people seem to resonate with it because they either grew up with it or never saw it and they enjoyed. Oh, did I get money? Alright. Anyway, I thought I did a pretty decent job keeping it within an hour limit, except for a few episodes. I might have gone overboard with showing enemy weaknesses and strengths and stuff like that. Oh, Arthur, I think, might be bankrupt. Oh no, he's got some stuff he can mortgage. But we might start losing characters. But this is a short game. It's like whoever has the most assets by the end of the however many turns. So I'll be losing that one. But yeah, I might have gone overboard, but I think I showed everything in Legend of Legaia. I think I only missed one treasure by accident, and I don't know where that was, unfortunately. I think it was from a re-record, because sometimes, every once in a while with recording, sometimes I'll have a technical issue, or something happens, I say the wrong thing, say the wrong thing as in I didn't have the right information at the time, and I said something wrong in the video to not, and I don't want to add incorrect information to the game, even though I've done that before and I didn't catch it until someone said something about it later on. But I try to at the time. So sometimes I'll go, "Oh man, that was wrong," so I'd have to re-record the episode, and sometimes I might forget a thing I forgot to re-grab. You know what I mean? I think that only happened with the one treasure, but I think I might have grabbed it on screen. But like I said, I might have had to redo the episode for the next one. So I don't know, but yeah, that was a really good playthrough. I think I explained pretty much everything. Nope, no doubles. I'm still in jail. I explained everything, showed off everything. I just I forgot how entertaining the story was, the writing, and the girl, the female character that joined. I forgot how like almost goofball she is over the course of the game, and just the use of even though it's that PS1 era where all the characters are blocky and stuff like that, but it utilized the blockiness of it, and it had silly moments in the background where, you know, she'd be like flapping her arms or people would be doing stuff. It was just, I don't know, it's just entertaining in general. I think it was one of my most watched, that series I think was one of my most watched during that whole year. And yeah, for people who watch my videos, you can tell I don't get a lot of views, but that's because I'm just, one, I don't hit the algorithm. Two, Let's Plays really aren't that thing anymore. Now it's all about streaming, you know, Twitch streaming and all that. So really, if I wanted to make money, I'd probably try to stream. That'd probably be a better chance of doing that, but I just don't have the time for it. It's easier for me to record these episodes, and while I'm rendering them, I do other things like work or work on my house or whatever. And yes, I technically own a house, but it's a beat-up house where it's like a total fixer-upper, so like any extra income I make, I go into that. So whose fault is that? That's probably mine for trying to fix it, but because it's a family home. But what can I do? But anyway, yeah, most people don't watch my videos, and I think the most income I get, I think, is like every 3 or 4 months, I get $100 from YouTube. And I unfortunately have to pay $50. I know you can. Okay, good. Free parking really didn't do anything until later versions of the game. It was basically just a free spot where you don't get hosed. Oh yeah, then let's see. I got I started doing Longest Journey. That one I didn't initially grow up with either. I played that. That one's one of those I played later, and I think the game's interesting, but it's not my favorite in terms of. I still played it because I wanted to show off the game, but I'll admit it's not my favorite point-and-click adventure game overall. Especially with the guy who wrote the game later on got a little bit crazier, so it's hard to, and you can kind of see where it's coming from at the beginning. I try not to badmouth people behind the scenes, but sometimes they do it themselves. But you know, sometimes you have to separate the art from the artist in that type of situation. So I think it's an interesting game in that matter and what it does. I'll eventually play the sequels, quote unquote, to this at some point. But like I said, those games are more those thought-provoking ones that sometimes they do a good job on, sometimes they don't, and but I'll get to them because they were interesting at the time, but not a high priority for me. Really, a lot of the games I kind of record. Sometimes I have ones I specifically go, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do some play testing, and I'm going to work and do research on this one. Then there's others I kind of just record all of a sudden because I'm like, you know, I feel like I want to play this, and I do a little bit of research, but I do it as I'm playing the game, that type of thing. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen a few times. Let's see, I started Shadow Madness. That was a fun one to play, mainly not because of the gameplay, because the gameplay is kind of like meh, but just because of the whole Ted Woolsey's game coming out. After him translating these games all these years, he finally gets his own game, and it crash and burns, basically, because no one bought it. Because it's basically Final Fantasy VII. This is basically, it was Final Fantasy at home. We have Final Fantasy at home, and you show him Shadow Madness. I like the game because of the writing. The writing is actually pretty entertaining in that game. And Ted Woolsey was pretty good about that when he did translations for Nintendo. Oh, I forgot I owned that place. Oh, that's right, because they spread out some of the properties at the beginning or something like that. But anyway. Oh, wait, no, that's the one I won, wasn't it? But anyway, yeah, Shadow Madness was a fun one. I don't know if I could have made that game any more interesting or whatever. I know a lot of people only watch like the first episode, which is fine. That's usually how it is with a lot of YouTube videos. When people watch it, they'll click on it, watch it for a few seconds, and then like the video or the voice. Most times with me, it's the voice. Like most people are like, I don't like commentary, and I'm like, fair enough. You have almost. Oh wow, you rolled a double. People only have so much time in their life. You know, if they don't want to watch my videos, That's fine. Like, I'm not like, oh man, you didn't watch my videos, you know. It was like, I'm like that too. If I don't like a character's voice or whatever, or I don't like their playstyle, I'm not gonna watch it because I've got other things to do. Actually, I don't. Little side notes: I actually don't watch Let's Players anymore. I used to when I was like early days of YouTube, like 15 years ago or whatever it was. Was it 15 years ago? Something like that. I used to watch Let's Players, but I kind of fell out of interest in a lot of the kind of like, I don't know. It's weird. It's not their fault. I just kind of like just lost interest in watching. I think it's because I was doing it myself, and I have other things to do. I can't just be watching videos anymore. I have to. I have other projects I have to do. Otherwise, you know. Oh, what is he trading me for? Oh, but I won't have anything. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to win this at this point anyway. So what do I? Well, what do you got? Oh, I could own the railroads, and that'll be giving him an. I don't know if that would give him a monopoly. Hold on. What is he? He's only got one other property. But we need, like I said, we need to get this thing going, so. Let me ask for, if that's a monopoly, let's go with 200. That might be a reasonable amount. There we go. But everyone's Pennsylvania. No, I don't think so. Well, no. Oh, yeah, remove Pennsylvania. I don't want that then. Okay, I'll charge you like 150. How about that? Pff, no, I don't want to. I'm not giving you Pennsylvania, dude. I don't mind you getting that one, but I'm not giving you Pennsylvania Avenue. Otherwise, we're not going to do this. He wants Pennsylvania really, really bad. Well, then we're quitting this. I'm not doing that. You don't get Pennsylvania, dude. You only get one property. That's it. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, let's see. Shadow Madness, yeah. I don't know if I could have done that one any differently, but oh, well. I still like that game because I need to play some of the other Ted Woolsey games, record those. Because he did quite a few. He did like, oh, it's my turn. Oh, that's the one I was going to get from him, too. Or try to, anyway. Oh, well. Let's see, Longest Journey, so let's see. Yeah, that one took up a few months because those were pretty long recordings. Then I finally got, oh, and I finally did a Siberia 4. That one was and Siberia 1 and 2 were pretty interesting games for what they were. Yeah, they kind of suffered from graphically, and they were kind of the early days of like when point-and-click adventure games started turning into 3D modeling and stuff like that. But there was a certain charm with them. But 3 was just kind of a supreme disappointment. 4 was better. I'll admit the 4th game, which was the final game, I think, by the creator before he passed away, or at least he'd written the general outline of the game. But yeah, kind of like almost like the game series kind of went away from the whole, you know, mammoths. I thought that was the whole point of the game. That's why the second game she finds the mammoths and everything, and that's why there shouldn't have been any more games in the series. But then they did 3, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're going with the tribe, I guess, or the Inuit tribe. I'm like, all right, I guess I can see where this is going. But it was just, I don't know, I guess because graphically or maybe story-wise or something like that, but it kind of felt, I didn't hate the game. I was just like, I was kind of disappointed because it didn't have the rustic charm of the original games, because you could kind of go, okay, it's a period of its time. You can kind of, let's see, I think 10% is cheaper because of my current income. So yeah, so it's cheaper to pay the 10%. A lot of times it's better to pay the 200, but it depends on your assets. But yeah, World Before was a little bit better. Obviously, the 2 different characters swapping in and out at least made for some interesting puzzle stuff. Although the bad thing about modern day point-and-click adventure games they're too easy now. Like, it's basically just click on something. They used to be point-and-click adventure games used to have some more puzzle solving. You had to be aware of certain like mechanics. You had to be aware of modern day or at the time, like you had to know certain basic information. That's it. Well, what else? What do you got? Oh, well, give me Pennsylvania then. But it's Park Place. That's a pretty high value property. So I need you to give me some money for that, or I need you to give me like a lot of money for that if you're gonna give me that. I probably lowballed her with that cost, but hey, that's better than nothing. because now she can buy property. I basically gave her a monopoly, so which is fine. Like I said, I wanna get this game ended at some point, even if it means I lose. Anyway, yeah, Siberia World before was, like I said, better. It's just, like I said, because it's so easy, there's really a loss in charm in terms of the puzzle aspect. You're it's more of an interactive story at that point, which I guess is fine. Some people like that type of thing. They like visual novels. Visual novels are like one of those weird things for me. Sometimes they're interesting, and sometimes they're kind of just, they say they're visual novels, but it'll be like a static background, and the only thing that changes is the character model. I'm like, really? But, oh well, whatever. Okay, and then eventually in June, I got to play Guardians Crusade. That was a fun one, just because it's a simple RPG. It kind of reminds me of well, it's simple, but there is certain difficulty parts. There were some times where I almost died just because of the game mechanics and stuff like that. But it definitely is your early guys RPG. Ooh, he might be bankrupt. No, I guess he's got enough assets to sell it off. Yeah, Guardians Crusade. Yeah, just I grew up with that game. I bought it when it came out because I was an RPG fiend when I was younger. Because anything that was RPG, I bought it. And unfortunately, that meant I would buy some pretty bad stinkers back in the time. Nowadays, I don't buy as many games as I used to. Actually, when's the last time I straight bought a game? Like years ago, I think, actually, because I don't buy games anymore. I just don't have the time. All the games I'm recording are from my old library that I have physically. Only in a few rare cases did I do a digital recording of it, but I still own the physical copy of the game. But so if I play anything brand new, I'd have to buy it, or someone would have to gift it to me. Yep, yeah, here we got the hotels. Oh boy, this is where people are gonna lose their fortunes or their clothes. But yeah, Guardians Crusade. I wish I'd yeah, I don't know if I could have done anything better with that. I think I showed most of the stuff that was in the game. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Alright, well, let's see if we're gonna... let's see. Let's see. What, 900? So... Well, let's just mortgage some properties then. That should be enough, right? Yeah, okay. Good lord. I knew I would be one of the first ones to get the hotel drop. Anyway, yeah, Guardians Crusade was fun. And yeah, I think I showed everything in that game. I don't think there was anything. Oh, I rolled doubles, right. Let's see. Oh, okay. Mortgage, so I don't have to worry about that one. And I don't have any money to buy stuff anyway. Ooh, thank you. Let's see. Oh, and then I did Streets of Rage for the Genesis. That was a fun one, just to do something a little bit differently. I always like old-fashioned beat-em-ups. There's not a whole lot of those these days. You have to do indie titles if you want beat-em-ups because it's not cost. A lot of AAA companies usually don't want to put the effort into stuff like that. So I kind of miss the days of the early Nintendo as well. It's like early PS2 era where game... Oh, Arthur's gone. I got Mediterranean Avenue. I think it said I got Mediterranean Avenue. But anyway, yeah, split up his assets. I don't have money for that anyway. Yeah, so 1 down, 7 to go. I'll probably be next, I bet. But yeah, PS2 had a lot of experimental games, and there are still some if you go to like indie titles, you can kind of find those. But the PS2 era was really interesting for when it came to like a bunch of just odd games or stuff that was like, oh man, these are like AA titles. You know what I mean? They're not AAA. They're like right below it, but there's something really interesting about them. Kind of like Spider games, like the people who did the Mars game or Technomancer, stuff like that. They're really interesting just because they're not AAA. They want to be AAA, but they're so close. But there's some charm to them that they're not fully funded, that type of thing. I need to record some of the other ones. I've only done the was it Demon Within or whatever? I had to look them up again. And the Mars one. All right, let's see if I get caught again by the... Oh, I'm in jail. I'm protected for a couple turns. Oh, and then I played Freedom. Let's see. We played Ring of Red. That's another one I really like. That one's the one I grew up with. That one's one of those obscure tactics games that like almost no one's aware of unless you played Front Mission. Man, I really enjoyed that one, but man, some of the battles got long. Like I think I have a 4-hour episode. I could have split it up, but I thought I wanted it to be like a legitimate, like this is how long the battle was, and you had to watch the whole thing to get the enjoyment out of it. So I didn't split it up for some weird reason. I don't know why I had a bug up my butt about wanting to have each battle be an episode and not split up into 3 or 4. But I still really like that game. I probably could have done a better job with like tactics. Maybe found a way to like maybe edit the videos to make battles faster by like speeding up some of the battles, because some of them would take forever just because you're waiting for the animations to go. I'm surprised that game hasn't got a remake or a remastered or where they have like a speed up function for it. Or if there is one, I'm not aware of it. But that was a really good game. Like I said, I'm not sure how I could have made it more interesting or what I could have done with that. But I showed most of the stuff I could. I got all the soldiers you could access. I might have not had the best strategies for everything. I don't know. There's really no end all beat all best strategy for that. But let's see. And then I started doing my East playthroughs. So I started with the East. Well, I played East 1 and 2 way back in the day. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to start playing the East games. So I started with East 3 for the TurboGrafx 16, which I like that one. I really like the music for that game, if anything. But the East games has always been pretty solid. Although I still haven't played the latest one. Yeah, actually, there's 2 I haven't. There was the collaboration game with the Trails of the Sky, I think, series, and then there was the latest one, which I think is 9. I think it was 9, maybe 10. But I need to play that one at some point. Let's see, East did that one in July, I think, or end of June. And then I got to East Oath of Falgana. That was another good one for the PSP, but I played the Steam version of that one. Yeah, you could tell it was the PSP just because graphically how the characters looked. That's kind of the chibi mode. And then we finally got to another classic, Breath of Fire 1. Another game from my childhood. I really enjoyed those. Man, I remember the first game being really hard, and I guess it still technically is. It's just now that you have the power of the internet or if you played the game a lot and everyone's already played the game to death, so everyone's already figured out all the enemy strengths and weaknesses. The game is actually not too bad in terms of. By the way, I could always pay to get out of jail if I want to. If you have like $50, I believe, but you could stay in jail too and try to not pay it or not get hosed on the board. But yeah, that was a good one. I think I did a pretty good job with that one overall in terms of like showing everything off. There might have been like 1 or 2 things I might have missed, or maybe some characters I didn't talk to, but I thought I did most of the stuff. And try to not. And that's one of those games that was like it's really hard at the beginning, but as soon as you hit a certain point, the game gets like really, really easy. Especially when you get Rudra at the very end, where you can just browse, you can just walk through all the bosses. It's kind of insane. I kind of like games like that if you know what you're doing, you can basically.
Don't be coming back now.
Oh, and then of course I get it, which I don't have to pay, but now I have to pay the piper, which is Carmen, but she only has 1 property, so. Yeah, Breath of Fire. I mean, like I said, there might have been something I could have been done to make it more efficient playthrough, but I really enjoyed that one too. Definitely the early games of Capcom's RPG, which is funny that was translated by Square, but then when they did the sequel, they're like, no, we can do it ourselves. Yeah. I didn't even play the original version of 2. Like, you should play the original version of 2 with how messed up the translations are in that one. Let's see. Then I got to East 4, Dawn of East. That was another good one. I just like the TurboGrafx 16 versions of the game. There's a certain charm to them that they have those old anime cutscenes. Man, I really miss 80s style anime design. You know, I know everything now is like either clean or moe or CGI, but with AI now, you think they would somehow find a way to make old school animation look, but use new tactics so that way, you know, it looks cleaner, but it still has the old school aesthetic. Oh well. I mean, I hope one day maybe there'll be some people do retro stuff, but I really doubt it. You know, you'd have to. Unfortunately, AI seems to be the way to get that stuff if you want it in the first place. All right, let's see if I get hosed. All right, basically, I'm on a lifeline really at this point. I think Penelope is gonna win because I let her get her Monopoly too soon. But like I said, I wanted the game to end at some point. Anyway, we got to Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. That's another classic. Added Dr. Nefarious. The only problem I have with Ratchet & Clank is that each game was always a new villain, a new location, different characters. But at some point they started doing the whole, oh, remember this character? Remember this character? Oh, let's just use Nefarious 20 billion times and not try to come up with new enemies and all that. But of course, the game did start becoming a Saturday morning cartoon video game, and there's one of those you got every year. Oh yeah, if you roll doubles like 3 times, you go to jail in the original Monopoly. I don't know if they still have that rule, but I mean, I still like Nefarious. It's just I wish they would use them sparingly. You know what I mean? But what can you do? And then in August, I started Breath of Fire 2, which was probably one of my favorite. Actually, Breath of Fire 2 or 3 is probably my favorite. And yeah, I know 2 had the bad translation, but I still like the ideas and the concepts that that 2 had overall. It's just obviously back in jail again. Oh, I am definitely living on a lifeline. So it'll probably be me and someone else at the very end, and she'll own all the properties. Yeah, Breath of Fire 2. I don't know how I could have done that one better. Maybe I could have shown off all the fishing spots, all the different variations of armor. I don't know if I could have showed off all the different, not dialogue, all the different, well, maybe dialogue, because I know sometimes they have different dialogue, but you can only have so much in the game. I almost thought about playing the original version that wasn't translated, but I thought, well, quality of life, and you get the better idea of the world and the like fan translation than the official game. And there was just so many mess ups, like the yes was no and no was yes in some places, or button presses were weird in a couple spots. The only thing I wish I would have shown was beating the music minigame, but I have no sense for music or timing on that. There was like no way for me to be able to do that without like weird hacking or something like that. And I didn't want to do any hacking with that one, despite me using a fan patch, but whatever. But yeah, that was still probably my that was another favorite for the year, was Breath of Fire 2, just because that was definitely a childhood game for me overall. Let's see, and then yeah, that one, those took me a while, so that wasn't until like later on, till I got any new games. I think we beat East, and then in September got to East Mask of the Sun for the Super Nintendo. That was interesting to play, going from the TurboGrafx 16 to the Super Nintendo version of the game. More hotels, man. And then we started Jeanne d'Arc in September. That was going to take me a while to do, just because of how many battles are in that one, and then there's the post game. Well, I'll go over that whenever I do the Jeanne, because that one's not over yet. By the time of this recording, Jeanne d'Arc's still going on. Let's see, still was doing Breath of Fire 2 at the time. Is Isaac go bankrupt? Yep, Isaac's gone. That's 2 down. 6 to go. Alright, I've received Indiana Avenue. It's Kentucky. Oh no, that was Carmen. Never mind. Sorry. I thought that was me for a second. I was like, wait a minute. Oh my goodness, I actually got out. But I'm pretty much, as soon as I run on the wrong property, I'm pretty much done. Let's see, and then and another game from my childhood, Lufia. I started that in September. Lufia 1. Oh man, I love that game. Just I know it's not a classic for some people, and it definitely has its issues, and it definitely, like, story-wise, it kind of just drops off a cliff at certain parts. But I like that game just because, I don't know, just something about the charm of the game or the music or something. Just I really like. Two's definitely my favorite though out of the 2. And I wish the later ones had got, like, I wish the Game Boy Color one was better, but not really a fan of that one. I don't hate it, but I don't like that one as much as 2. And then there was the re-release of 2 for the DS, which just basically changed the whole mechanic. Like, it changed the character designs, mechanics, the story, like the gameplay. It's all different. It's just, I don't know, I just really didn't like it. I might try playing it again one day, but ooh. Because I own 2 railroads. And then let's see. So Jeanne d'Arc, Breath of Fire. Then let's see. And then it was coming upon Halloween here soon, so we got to. Oh yeah, and then I beat East Memories of Celceta. I think by the time this comes out, I'll have beaten that one. I'm working on editing it right now. Of course, I'm recording this. Oh, yay. I got some money. Woo! I'm not dead yet. Or I'm not out yet. Yeah, Celceta was a good one. It definitely, obviously, it's not from my childhood. It's one of those remakes for later on. The only problem I have with the game is that it's with a lot of modern games is that they have the whole, they have to add, I don't mind them adding more story, but almost bogs down the game so much that it's definitely not the same game anymore. Because, like, the East games you could beat in, like, a handful of hours. Supreme Hack and Slash, you got just enough story to continue on and keep going. But then the later games almost bogged down the game so much with so much, like, extra story and everything that almost, like, it's like what it's the best example I have from this is the issue I had with this Secret of Mana remake. Like it just, I don't know why. I don't think it was the voice acting. It was just, I think it just dragged everything out so much because it was trying to make it more modern. And it couldn't, and it obviously didn't want to be the original game, which it shouldn't be. But it just stretched the game out so much, and like added unnecessary stuff that was just, it just wasn't as fun to play, at least for me. That's why I only did oh, another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. So we're almost done with this thing. We're coming down to the big dogs, and I am not one of them because I haven't really been paying attention. But yeah, I don't know. But anyway, October came around, so I played Monster in My Pocket. That was another classic beat 'em up from my childhood. Funny enough, I think I mentioned this playthrough about how it was in Europe. It was Flash and Batman is who you play as. Then I played Maju, King of Demons, which that one I didn't grow up with. That one's one of those you find later on. And you're like, oh, this is an interesting platform, kind of Castlevania inspired, guy with a gun type of situation. Then we played Phantasmagoria. I did have that one growing up. That was one of those like weird games. When you played Sierra games for so long and you're so used to like the fantasy aspect of them or the science fiction aspect with like Space Quest, all of a sudden they do horror games. Although they had, I think Gabriel Knight came up before Phantasmagoria. So they had delved into thrillers and mysteries before, but Phantasmagoria going straight to horror was a surprise for me. I was like, this is Sierra? What? You know, that type of thing. And obviously it definitely suffers from cheesy 90s kind of gameplay where it has all the cinematic those cutscenes and everything like that, which they would have on like Sega CDs, that type of quality. So it was enjoyable for playing that game after all these years, even if the game has its own issues. And it has definitely story issues, but the puzzles aren't really that difficult to figure out. And then I played Resident Evil Revelations 2. That one I didn't grow up with initially. I wanted to buy it when it first came out, but I didn't buy it to play it till like way years later. That's why I played the Steam version of it. Oh, what do we got? What are we offering me? Well, might as well let him have it. What do you got though? Can I finally get short? Can I get short line, please? Give me some money. You're gonna have a monopoly, right? So might as well give me something. Don't ask for Park Place, or don't ask for St. James Place, please. Otherwise, we're done. Wait, what? Well, that would give him a... Oh, he wants both. Wait, I own both of those? Hold on. Well, no, then. I don't want those. Quit. I want to trade yours. I'll wait till my turn. I guess it doesn't matter, so... Who is it again? Was it Irwin? It's because, well, the problem is that sometimes the AI really doesn't want to give you monopolies, but they're more than willing to give you monopolies. Or they're more willing to want monopolies. Yeah, he's not going to do it, so. Okay. I thought I'd try. You're the one that doesn't want to trade, dude. I own 2 properties. What do you mean I should give you 2 properties? That does not make sense. Yeah, like I said, sometimes the AI will not work with you, but it wants you to work with them. But anyway, yeah, Revelations 2. That one I probably could have maybe spaced out the episodes, but I wanted to be the episode be like the full episode. So if you played the Barry section, that was an episode, that type of thing. I probably could have maybe divvied out because the episodes wild vary in like times, and obviously I didn't play through them efficiently. That's for sure. Oh, okay. Oh no, no. I don't think I could pay that. I can't. I don't have any assets. Yeah, I have to. I don't have the money for that. I have to go out. Well, there we go, folks. I'm out. Yep. I knew I was going to get bankrupt. I just didn't know when it was, so. Alright, let's see how this game plays out. I'm out, viewers. The human is lost. Anyway, Revelations, yeah. The only thing I really like about the game, other than trying to go back to old Resident Evil, was you get to play as Barry. I like the fact that Barry finally got his own game again. Well, actually got his own game, technically, even though you're splitting it with Claire. Which I prefer the Barry section to the Claire section, personally. And I'm not really a fan of Moira. Yeah, she kind of sort of redeems herself at the end, but I still don't like her character. You know, she's your typical teenager, misunderstanding with dad and all that, yada, yada, yada. But anyway, I played Spirit Hunter as well. That one I didn't grow up with. That one, I played the first one a while back on the channel, the original game, and I decided to play the sequel. And it's typical visual novel type of stuff, a static background, character models sort of change. But it was definitely delved into horror aspects. Like, it definitely goes a little bit more crazier than instead of like a Western game being all slasher, for example. This one was definitely more psychological horror, which is a lot of Japanese horrors usually tend to be. So they're usually more interesting in that regards. Not that there's anything wrong with slashers. I'm just more, if I'm going to watch a horror movie, I'd rather delve into the psychological aspects. So they kind of definitely go overboard with some of the, histories and like some of the crazy stuff that goes on that, like, well, just watch the game if you want to know some of the crazier stuff that goes on in it. Then again, I don't know, sometimes you have to go crazy to make people interested in your series. Let's see, what else did I play during that? Oh yeah, Buckshot Roulette. That was a fun time waster. Sacrifices Must Be Made, a game I didn't grow up with. Obviously, it was a indie. It was like a small indie download game. It was a prologue to his other title. I still haven't played that one actually. I don't play as many games as I used to, so I have to kind of pick and choose my time. It's either, well, the games I play are for the channel, but I hardly play stuff for free time outside of doing games for this. You know what I mean? Let's see. And then I did Look Outside. Yeah, that was supposed to be a kind of a surprise hit for a lot of people this year. It's definitely a game I want to go through and play eventually. Like, try to unlock everything, because apparently there's like a ton of endings, a ton of characters you can get, and just everything you could do. But if I had played the game at the beginning of October, I would have done a full playthrough of it. But I kind of found out about it though. Well, actually, I was aware of the game earlier because it came out later that year, but I didn't really look into it. So maybe I'll try playing it again next year for Halloween or something like that. I don't know. Let's see. I think other than that, I think everything that's going on right now is games that I'm still currently in the middle of finishing. I know I finished Lufia. Oh yeah, I started the I played Streets of Rage 2 after Lufia finished. Another classic beat 'em up. And then I think, yeah, I finished Memories of Celceta. Well, I think I just finished it. Cooking Mama for Thanksgiving. Yeah, I was talking about the English part of it. I guess it wasn't. I think it was the Wii version that has the bad English in it for that game. And then I played the Dragon Warrior games. Right now, I'm in the middle of 3. Obviously, I'll probably be finished that by early next year. But yeah, Dragon Warrior. That's another game I grew up with. First game, yeah, grind slog, just like all the early ones. I know I didn't get that game when it first came, but that's one of those. I think I either rented it at a Blockbuster. Yeah, I think it was well, no, it wasn't a Blockbuster. It was like a family mom and pop place that I rented it at, and I think I eventually bought it years later at like a from a, I think it was like a garage sale or something like that. Right before it was before the obviously the old games market blew up, and all of a sudden now you can't buy those games without them being like $100. Good thing I'm not really a collector, but. Yeah, that was a fun game. I mean, yeah, you're probably saying grinding fun? Grinding has a weird calmness to me that, like, I mean, if I'm working on other projects, I could be, like, grinding in the background, or I could be watching something while I'm grinding, and I don't know, just, there's something weirdly common to me about grinding in certain games. I don't like modern-day grinding. There's a difference between old-school grinding and modern-day grinding. I don't know, there's just, I mean, they have the same purpose, is to drag out the gameplay, but I don't know, there's something about old-school grinding that, like, that seems like legitimate, trying to get me more for my money than modern day game grinding, which is to make me try to pay, like mobile games and certain games where like they want you to buy product to make it go faster. I think that's more nefarious than old school grinding to me personally. And then started Dragon Warrior 2. That one I did not finish when I first played the game because of how ridiculously hard that game is, and how cheap it is, especially when you don't know about the baboon sacrifice ability until it happens to you, and you basically wasted like an hour because you didn't know to cast stop spell on him at the time. Oh god, that was just a. I mean, playing it again now that you know about the internet and everyone who's been working or who's like hacked the game and like figured out all the weaknesses and strength. Now it's not too bad. It can still be nasty if you play it like through a cartridge like I did, but or if you play it, it's not as bad as if you play the later versions or if you play through emulation or something like that. But the original version, yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow, because you can still get like cheated if you're not careful, like either by being put to sleep or whatever. And then I started Breath of Fire 3, Dragon Warrior 3. That one's a lot more fun to play just because it's not as stressful. Yeah, there's some parts that are dangerous, sure, but it's definitely an easier game than the other two. They definitely tried to go more mainstream with that one. And there's something nice about having a game that doesn't stress you out all the time, trying to like, oh, if I go in this dungeon, I might be hosed, type of thing. Let's see, and then yeah, finished Breath of Fire or Dragon Warrior 2, Dragon Warrior 3 started up, and then let's see, I started East 5. That one's interesting because obviously I didn't grow up with that one. That's one of those that never got translated to America, so one of the few times I had to find it digitally to play it. Oh, Gertrude's out. We're almost done, I think. And I'm almost done with all the videos actually for the year. Yeah, Kevin, see. I think Kevin will be not quite. I think by this recording, I think it'll be not quite done yet. I think I'm almost finished with it by the time I've recorded this. But that one's surprisingly easy actually. When I pre-played it before, because I always a lot of games I pre-play my games to figure out what I want to do or a certain pacing or whatever. And then with Kefin, I'm still missing some items from that I didn't find or miss somehow during the initial playthrough. Surprised how many just hidden elements are just all over the place. But yeah, that game is surprisingly easier. I probably should have tried to find the original hard version of the game and maybe make it a bit more of a challenge. Oh well, nothing wrong with playing an easy game every once in a while, or easier games. And these games kind of start getting easier from there, especially when they start going to the full action setup for their games. And they played the Grinch. That was kind of fun to just have something a little bit different. Playing the Pac-Man, Metal Gear Solid Grinch game or whatever. And I think that's it by the time this is out. I'll be working on Dragon Warrior 3, maybe a handful of, maybe 7 or more episodes left in that one. Kefin, I think we'll have a couple episodes left on that one. Jeanne d'Arc will still have quite a few on that one. I'll have like at least 10 plus episodes ready to go, or let's see, and then there's the post game. And I don't know how many episodes I'm going to do in post game. Still kind of considering that one. That might only be a handful of episodes, really, when you think about it, because post game is like a couple hidden stages in the Coliseum and a couple other secrets, but that's pretty much it. And trying to get all the skill shards. God, I've been having so much, at least by the time I was recording, I've been having such bad luck with skill drops, especially for the ones I want. I'll probably have to, post-game, I'll probably have to do a lot of grinding for skill shards off-screen and just tell you what I'm doing just to show it off. But yeah, that's pretty much it for all the games for the year. So yeah, pretty good set of games. I mean, some games might have taken me longer than necessary. Maybe I could have spread them out a bit more. Maybe I should have stopped doing Let's Plays and started going to just streaming. But I'm really not comfortable with like having people like streaming, having people watch you while you're doing that, and trying to communicate like while trying to play the game and communicate with people while streaming. How's that? I don't know. That doesn't sound like fun to me personally. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it later on if I've ever like have enough, not free time, but if I ever enough financially secure that I could afford to not do certain other projects or try and get money. Yeah, they're trying. I wonder if the AI sometimes will work with itself and sometimes it won't. Yeah, I pretty much said everything I can about the games that I played this year. But yeah, pretty good year. I don't think I played any games or had any like really bad playthroughs I can really think about. There's some. I'm probably. I mean, like most people say, that you're your own worst critic. I feel like there's probably things I could have done differently. Probably could have been more efficient, or maybe didn't bog down certain episodes, like the RPG episodes with like enemy stats. Like in the end, does anyone really care about that, type of thing? I do in a way, because I like knowing all the weaknesses and strengths of everything, being researched that people put all the effort into to help me get to that point. Because obviously a lot of that stuff I didn't figure all that out all on my own. It's because a lot of those games have been out for years, so whole communities of people from like the gaming forums have figured out, hack the games or put all that to text. So and just me leeching off of them like everyone else on the internet. So, but But I never admit, I'm never saying, oh, that's all me, man. I figured all that out. I know, no. I'm trying to think if there's anything I actually generally, from a game series that I generally figured out that, or I thought I figured out that, but maybe I just didn't read. There might be something that maybe I figured out, but really at the end, it's kind of, it comes down to commentary at that point. It's like, well, can I add anything interesting to the dialogue or add my unique experience or something like that to it? I don't think I guess in the grand scheme of things, I probably don't add very much, but I like to think I do. I mean, at least if someone enjoys the videos, I guess I got something out of it, right? I mean, why else? Because I mainly do this as a hobby. It's like, you know, I have my humdrum life, and then every once in a while, you know, I record a game, and if someone likes it, someone responds to it, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm glad I could remind you of your childhood or something like that, you know, nostalgia. Or if I play an obscure game or a game I grew up with, and I'm like, oh, this isn't obscure, and then someone's like, oh man, I think I heard about this game a long time ago, and you know, or at school at a store, but I thought it was just a memory, and then they said, I found it, you know, from you. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Because yeah, the world is such a big place, you can't know every single video game. So something that seems common to my experience might not be for the next player or person. So yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get. We might get to. I mean, I know I forgot how many turns there are left in this one. Because how many? We only have 3 people left, right? I might just have to call the episode early, just because I was hoping there would be an end, but I don't know. Let me look up the quick game version of how long that lasts. Let's see. Sorry if I'm being quiet there. I'm just trying to look it up. So I try to use a quiet keyboard so I don't make a lot of noise while in it. Oh, did I forget to... Man, I wonder if I actually forgot to set the limit on it. Well, the thing is, timer-wise, it's not like the players are taking forever on their turns. It's just, yeah, I can say it can take anywhere from like 40 minutes or whatever. So, well, I mean, I've already been kicked out. I've already said everything I had about the holiday. So overall, I'm trying. Actually, I never talked about anything outside of that. I'm trying to remember if anything. Oh yeah, I did have to do a lot of major work on my house. Like I think I had termites, and I need to fix the roof, which I'm probably about to do that either today or later today, by the time of this recording. And then I had a water issue because one of the underground pipes in the house that goes out to an outer faucet that used to be used to water the garden, which I don't even care about the garden anymore. I haven't really been focusing on that. I'm just letting nature work its way, and I had to pay for that, so that was a lot of money down my pocket, or out of my pocket. Which, man, it's expensive to just do anything for your house. You almost have to go do everything yourself, otherwise you're paying a couple grand just to fix a little pipe or something like that. Or if you're trying to fix like electronics, it's insane how much people charge for like fixing stuff. Like it's not even like, oh, you know, it's like $20 to do this. You know, it's like, no, it has to be $500 to change out an outlet or something like that. I'm like, dude, an outlet costs like 50 cents. You're gonna charge me, you know, like 10,000% to install this thing? Are you serious? Like it's just insane, like the charge rates. I mean, I know people have to make a living. It's just insanity, like that. Just how much they charge for it. You know, I don't know, man. Are they being? I know for some people it's like they have to pay for like for some businesses they have to pay for. They're using that to pay off the insurance for their other stuff. But it's like, why are you doing that? Why are you charging that to me? You know, that type of thing. I don't know. It's one of those weird things. I understand it. I just don't like it. You know, you do all this hard work, and then it takes one little thing, and it all goes down the drain. This is why I don't do much like extra activities outside of like trying to make money, because it's like, well, I can't really afford it, because like that one thing that happens to your house, and boom, there goes $3 grand trying to fix the roof. That's why I'm trying to do it myself. I bought shingles and everything like that, so I'm going to try to see if I can just swap out the shingles myself. Doesn't seem that hard. It's just time consuming or trying to find a time of the day to do it. So, but anyway. But other than that, you know, just life in general. So trying to live, trying to learn. trying to play games, have fun, and enjoying what we got here, and hopefully I have food, a house, and everything. I also another thing, I started fasting this year where I don't eat as much as I used to. Now I only eat like once a day or something like that. I hardly eat any food, and my body's gotten acclimated to it. So now I can't even eat 3 times a day anymore because my body's like, you don't need to eat anymore. So now I'm just like, it's crazy not having to worry about eating 24/7 now. Like some days I could skip a couple days and not even pay attention that I haven't eaten yet. And I'm not. And it's not like I'm not trying to be super skinny. I'm not trying to be a model. I'm just like generally, I was just trying to find healthy ways because they say fasting is supposed to help with the your body recovery and try to clean up your body every once in a while. And it seems I seem to be a bit healthier than I used to be. So there must be something to it. So yeah, I think this game's got to last. I think we've gotten to that weird stalemate type of thing where unless something major happens, we're not going to get anywhere with that. So I think I'll call the episode done for here. So hope you enjoyed. For those who watched my channel at all, I hope you enjoyed the videos I set this year. If you're a newbie or just somehow came across this because the YouTube algorithm threw this on your plate, hopefully you stayed to the end. If you did, I appreciate that. If not, well, obviously you're not there, so what else to say? If not, well, screw you, man. No, I'm just kidding. Like I said, people have their own times and places. They got things to do, and I've got things to do as well. So, but yeah, hopefully this year it treated you all well. If not, I hope the next year does. It can only get better, if not worse, because there's always a sunshine from the rainy skies. But for me, I'm going to keep doing this until it becomes unfeasible for me to do it, or if I become physically incapable of doing it, or unless something major happens in my life that financially I just can't afford to do this as a hobby anymore, which I hope doesn't happen because it's the only excuse I have to play old games anymore. Because like I said, I don't play games as a casual hobby anymore. I play these to record them, but that's it. I don't play a lot of modern games, so it gives me something else to do outside of work, it seems like. So, but anyway, yeah, hopefully things get better, and hopefully your year is good, and hopefully the next year is good for everyone. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and have a happy new year.